Hi guys, this is the last horror movie for spooky season. I'm so sad. But sadly, there are only 4 Wednesdays in October, but we will finish we'll finish the Conjuring universe next year on spooky season with La Llorona. But today we're going to be talking about The Nun. So, what I want to preface before we actually start talking about The Nun is The Nun has a spirit name. You all know this. And I don't feel comfortable saying it. So what we're going to do is... Sorry. Hold on, let me get this written down. Okay, anyway. So I don't like saying the nun's real spirit name because that is the name of an actual demon and I don't like saying it, so we're not gonna say it. I'm just gonna take a dramatic pause wherever the name is, and all of you can look up what the name is yourself if you don't know, but I just don't feel comfortable saying it for myself. So I'll read you the plot, I'll show you my favorite clip, and I will let's go. In 1952, Romania, 2 nuns living at the St. Cartha's Monastery are attacked by an unseen evil force after one of them entered a tunnel to retrieve an ancient Christian relic. The surviving nun, Sister Victoria, flees from the attacker, a demon appearing as a nun, and hangs herself. Her body is discovered by Frenchie, a villager who transports supplies to the nuns. The Vatican learns of the incident and summons Father Burke to Rome, where they ask him to travel with Sister Irene, a nun in her novitiate, I think it is, to Romania in order to investigate the situation. If I say anything wrong, I'm sorry, I've never gone through the process to be a nun. While Sister Irene is teaching children the relationship between religion and science in a school, her mother superior interrupts her and informs her that Burke has arrived in order to request Irene's accompaniment in his trip to Romania. Whew, can't breathe. The pair travels to Romania and meets with Frenchie, who leads them to the abbey. They discover Victoria's body and take a key from her corpse. Inside, they encounter the abbess, who informs them the nuns observe a period of silence during the night and offers them lodging at the attached convent if they wish to return tomorrow. Frenchie is attacked by a demon as he returns to the village, but escapes. Burke tells Irene that a boy he exorcised in the past, Daniel, was fatally injured during the ritual, and Burke has carried the burden of the boy's death with him ever since. Irene reveals that as a girl she had visions, and each of them concluded with Mary points the way, causing the church to take an interest in her. That night, Burke is rescued by Irene after being buried alive in the graveyard by the demonic entity. The next day, Irene and Burke return to the abbey, but only Irene can enter as it is cloistered. She meets some of the other nuns and learns that they are praying, constantly swapping in shifts to keep the evil entity at bay. Sister Oana reveals the abbey's history. It was built in the Middle Ages as a castle to be used by the Duke of St. Carta, a powerful aristocrat obsessed with the occult. The Duke summoned the demon through a rift in the catacombs, but was killed by Christian knights who sealed the rift with a vial filled with the blood of Christ. However, the bombings during World War II accidentally reopened the rift, unleashing the evil entity once more. Burke identifies the demon as and discovers the abbess has been dead all along. Frenchie heads back to the abbey to help Irene and Burke. Irene is attacked by and joins the nuns in desperate prayer to ward off the demon. When the group reunites, Irene discovers that none of the nuns she had seen and talked to were real, and she had been praying alone. Later realizing that Sister Victoria had been the last nun in the abbey and had sacrificed herself to stop from possessing her body and unleashing evil. Theorizing that can only be stopped if they seal the rift with the blood of Christ contained in the reliquary, the trio reveals the vial with the key Victoria possessed. Irene then informs Burke that God has called her to make her solemn vows as a nun and asks Burke to elevate her to the status of the professed nun, which he does in the abbey's chapel. After the trio unlocks the tunnel door, Irene is lured into a pentagram and possessed by Frenchie smears some of the blood of Christ on her face, casting out the demon. Burke is wounded by Daniel's ghost as starts to drown Irene in a flooded chamber. Irene expels the blood of Christ from the demon's face, banishing it as the blood of Christ seals the rift. After Frenchie resuscitates Irene, Sister Irene asks his real name, and Frenchie answers to her question that is Maurice. Unbeknownst to the others, Maurice has been possessed by, as evidenced by an inverted crucifix on his nape. 20 years later, at a university seminar in Wakefield, Massachusetts, Carolyn Perrin watches as Ed and Lorraine Warren present footage of their attempt to exorcise and possess Maurice. In the footage, Maurice grabs Lorraine, giving her visions of Ed dying, which initiates the Warrens' investigation of the Perrin farmhouse haunting. That's crazy. See, so these movies are all connected in that way. Like that is like all the nuns are just like it. This movie's crazy. All right. Like the nuns aren't real, and then so I'll show you the video clip.
We need to pray now. And whatever happens, whatever you may see or hear, keep your eyes forward and don't stop praying.
That was a crazy video clip, guys. When I saw the movie for the first time and I saw that video clip, I was like, oh my god. But yeah, so I give it an 8 out of 10. First time I watched it, it was weird. I didn't really like it. But then the second time watching it, I thoroughly enjoyed it a lot more, and I saw like all the connections to the Conjuring universe, because there are quite a few. So yeah. The real story of the nun is not what the movie portrays, but you know, that's a story for another day. So I'll see you guys in the next video.